Wow. SADDIQ mother A. Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen. We just witnessed one of the craziest performances from a Detroit Piston in quite a long time. SADDIQ Bey with 51 points over the Orlando Magic in 20 some shots, tied the franchise record for threes in a game for a Detroit Piston. I just, wow, man. Wow. I, as everyone's flooding in, hope everyone's having a good night. Hope everyone's doing well. I just can't believe that that happened. It was absolutely insane. Picked the wrong forward to have knee issues tonight, dude. You are so, you are so not wrong. That was absolutely insane. But welcome to everyone that's tuning in. We are here for episode 1 of the 313 report, which is very similar to the live streams that we've been doing here from AF Court over the past few weeks. But now it has a name. Now it's official. And we're going to be here each and every Thursday night. I'm going to be joined by my guy, Detroit Kool-Aid. I'm going to be joined by Everything King in a little bit. I'm also going to be joined by my my other guys. It's going to be a great time. We got Downtown Deuce that's going to be in the building as well. So everyone that watched this game, I would love to know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I mean, first of all, we haven't seen a Pistons scoring display like that, obviously, since the Blake Griffin scoring brigade back when we played the Philadelphia 76ers. So, obviously a 50-point game is pretty rare. And the fact that SADDIQ Bey, especially coming off of a rough few games, right? Not shooting the greatest, not having good performances, or not up to his standards, to come in and score the way that he did, because it wasn't just like, it wasn't 50 points on 50 shots, right? This was an actual this was an actual clinic that this guy was putting on. So the fact that he was out there and was able to do this on 24 shots, 10 of 14 from the three-point line. I'm mind blown. I am in utter disbelief, especially on a night where, for all intents and purposes, the world is not focused on the NBA. The landscape of the basketball fandom and the basketball world is focused upon the March Madness that is going on right now. But again, for SADDIQ to come out and play like that, and to show not only what he's capable of, not only show that he's a great scorer and that, it's not going to go out and it's not going to like define him. I mean, this guy was 17 to 27 from the field, 10 of 14 from 3. He only made 7 free throws this game. Normally speaking, like whenever you see like a 50-point game, it's very heavy in free throws. This one, not so much. So there's just so many things about this game just to like. and respect and just admire. So I am absolutely mind blown, man. And we're gonna be getting people rolling in here in the next couple of minutes. I know my guy Kool-Aid will be in here shortly. He's just getting his stuff set up. I would imagine my guy Everything King is getting his video filmed right now, talking about this exact thing. But now that everybody's rolling in, I would love to see what's up in the comment section down below. Can we now say BEY could be a number 2 on a high level team? Dude, I think it's fair to say that we don't know what his ceiling is yet. I mean, listen, anybody that can go out on any night and score 50 plus points is a baller, right? That's just true. But to do it that way, that clinical, and also get a double too, right? Like, just everything about his performance just utterly mind-blowing. Oh, we got my guy Downtown Deuce in here. Gotta add him.
What's up, bro?
Bro, what's going on, man? How are you?
I'm doing well, man. I heard there was a second-year player that dropped 51 points. Can you help me out? Who was that?
Dude, I was watching. I was just like, what the? Like, this is insane, bro.
Yeah,
you know
bro.
what I mean? Like, this man just popped off, dude.
He's a bucket, bro. 3-level scorer already in the second season.
Oh, yeah.
Incredible.
Oh.
What is he? One of 7 Pistons ever to score 50 plus points.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Joins Elite Company, ties the franchise record in one night, too, for 3-pointers in a game, 10 of 14 from beyond the arc. Like,
ridiculous.
Dude, absolutely
Ridiculous.
insane.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane.
Man.
You can't say enough good things. You know what I mean?
It's crazy, bro, because when he was drafted here, many were pigeonholing him as a 3-and-D guy, but now he's showing signs of, like I said, being a 3-level scorer. His the mid-range game is there, scoring from the elbow, much like K does. His size, his strength have really enabled him to be able to finish at the rim in traffic. And then his ball handling too has vastly improved. So his jump from year 1 to year 2 has been incredible, and his work ethic really has me excited for his future because he's shown that he wants to get better.
Well, again, coming off of like a rough stretch too, like he was not playing well over the last few games. Like he was shooting like 29% from 3 the past 5 games. Like I think like 35% from the field overall. For him to come in and do this, just unreal. But before we go further, I gotta acknowledge we got my guy. We got Kool-Aid in the building.
That's good.
What's going on, Brandon? How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you, man. Yeah, I can hear you.
Right, awesome.
Yeah.
Man, yo, it's awesome to be with you guys, man. Talk some Pistons, SADDIQ BEY 50 burger.
Dude,
yes, sir.
Episode 1 of the 313 report, dude.
Let's get it, man.
Let's get it, man. Dude.
Did you invite over the King?
Oh yeah, absolutely I did.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's just, with the King, you got to think he's probably filming his video talking about this right now. So I always give, since the King is royalty, I give him his time. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Definitely. Deuce, real quick, if your camera's a little, you're a little laggy. If you go in the settings and check, if you click on advanced options, make sure your camera resolution is on HD. Mine was doing the same thing earlier, so that might be what it's doing to you. So I just want to double check.
Got you.
But otherwise, as everyone's rolling in here after an insane game. I mean, Pistons Orlando Magic. I think that a lot of us went into this night. I don't know about you. I would go out on a limb and I would say, for whatever reason, that's not exactly the matchup everybody's looking forward to. I would just wager. But for SADDIQ BEY to do what he did, when he did it, the way he did it, is just absolutely insane. And I can't say enough good things just about his overall performance. That takes guts, man. And I mean, for the Orlando Magic, I mean, we do got to acknowledge one thing. That doesn't look very good to have that happen to you 2 nights in a row or 2 games in a row. Let someone go out there and score 50 to 60 points. And I got to give it to the Orlando Magic in a world where we were doing our best to tank. They are the kings of the tanking game. They are the goats of tanking. So to the Orlando Magic, I got to give you your flowers because that's unreal. Apparently, in addition, it looks like Kentucky went down too.
Wow, really?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
So that is bonkers. I also I'm going to send an invite. So from Half Court, which is a podcast that happens here on this channel as well, releases every Wednesday. My co-host Troy would love to join as well. So I'm going to send him the invite too.
Cool.
So we got my guy Troy Sergey that's going to be coming in.
Sean, you can still hear me okay?
Yeah. It's a little quiet. Let me turn you up a little bit. I'm not I would double check that it has that mic selected.
All right, can you hear me?
Yeah, yep. Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah, that was better.
You know, I had to switch over. I was in my computer audio. Now I'm on the microphone, man. And I love this microphone, honestly.
Dude, I was gonna say that microphone is sick.
It's clean.
I love it. Let me see if I can find the information on it, though. It's dope.
I like it.
Yeah, it's Aston microphone. It's pretty dope.
Yeah. Ooh, look at that.
Pretty dope.
Hey.
Oh, we got King in the building.
Your microphone ain't worth nothing.
Hey, Love King. What's good, sir?
Let's go, SADDIQ.
Let's
Man,
go,
50 points.
baby.
50 ball.
I heard this the game ball right here.
Man.
Oh, wow.
Man.
He shipped it to you that quick, huh?
Goodness.
Oh,
Dude, all right.
bag.
Oh my gosh. Well, first of all, we do gotta, now that we have royalty in the building, we got our guy, King. Everything King. Bow down. What's going on, King? How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, man. I just been here for a while. I ain't royalty, man. I've been trying to push people to give SADDIQ Bey more respect for a while. You know what I'm saying? To get his man his flowers. This man went in over the summer and improved his game by learning how to attack the basket, how to use his post moves, how to do other things, how to get to the free throw line. He turned from a 3-and-D guy to a guy that can give you much more than that. And I just feel like the fan base just shove it to the side for some reason with SADDIQ. I don't get it, man. I just don't.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's because it's the shiny new toy syndrome. It's like with guys like, Marvin Bagley, which obviously he's playing great. People talked about in the chat, we have Cade Cunningham, obviously, that's going to be our shiny new toy all year long. You know what I'm saying? I just think it's the thing where, we tend to, ignore those people. We got my guy Troy coming in here too. Troy, what's going on, brother?
Going good, Sean. Good to be here.
Dude,
Hey, welcome to the chat.
Thanks,
Good to
guys.
have you, man.
Yeah,
If
man.
you guys don't know, Troy is the co-host of From Half Court, joins me every single week. Troy, should I do my proper intro for you now that we have people live?
Go ahead, buddy. Go ahead.
All right. You guys ready?
Yeah.
And now, from Marquette, Michigan, standing at 6'3", playing power forward, he's the Marquette Dirk, the man in the shirt, the man who goes insane, and the man who brings down pain. Troy Sergey. Troy, how you doing?
That's dope.
Bro, that's A1.
Isn't that
So
good?
you're taking
I
over
feel
from
like-
Mason, right?
Yeah,
You're taking over
hey,
from Mason.
Mason, if you ever have a sick day, I can step in for you, man. Just let me know. So let me bring my fancy crap along with, and we can make it happen.
Sean, I just realized my first name and your last name was a former NBA player, Troy Murphy.
Well, okay.
How far?
Anyway, oh my gosh. Well, King, you just hopped in a moment ago, man. what was going through your mind just watching this game as it went down, as SADDIQ was just going insane?
I probably did more dance moves that, my kids probably couldn't recognize. I was literally running around. Every time he shot the ball, I just knew it was going to go in. You know what I'm saying? He just had that swag out there tonight. And, it's like, for me, it was the ultimate climax because it was over the last couple of games, he struggled. And here they come, as usual, in the comments of your videos and on Twitter talking trash. Oh, SADDIQ Bey, this, that, we should have traded him and this, that. I'm like, seriously, over a couple of games, man. So tonight, when I seen him doing that, it made me feel good. I was relieved for SADDIQ Bey, just to tell people, come on, y'all, you guys, you taking it a little bit too far. You know what I'm saying? So just be quiet is what I was saying.
Oh, 100%. And he shut everyone up tonight, man. I mean, just everything he was doing. He was all over the place, and it just, like I said, I just can't say enough good things, man.
I want to give a shout out to RJ Hampton, because SADDIQ was sitting on 49 for a minute and didn't look like he was going to get there.
Yeah.
And he came over and fouled him when we were in the penalty. So thank you, RJ Hampton.
Yeah, shout outs. Yeah, they wanted to make sure that a team scored 50 or 60 points on them yet again.
Right.
You know what I mean? Troy, are you in the bathroom, bro?
I'm not in the bathroom. I'm in my living room.
Oh, okay. I thought you were sitting on the toilet. I was worried for a second. I just had to make sure, bro. I just had to make sure. Troy,
not pulling a Nick in the shower. Nick Henkel in the shower. Not doing that.
Oh my gosh! Thank goodness. Oh man, but Troy, what were your thoughts, man? What was going through your mind as you saw SADDIQ do that?
Yeah, it was awesome. To be honest, this may be kind of a weird comparison, but I saw little flashes of Kawhi.
Okay. Yeah.
Like not saying he's gonna, that's his ceiling or anything like that, but just the way he played his game tonight, on the defensive end as well. But he was a walking bucket. And obviously, more of the 3-point shooting, was impressive. But yeah, similar to what he just said, I think a lot of people were mad about his performance in the first couple weeks of the year. But he really just showed all the haters wrong. And we know that him and Cade Cunningham can work together. And the future's bright with those two. So.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's impossible. It's impossible to watch that performance and not just wonder about SADDIQ's future, right? Just everything that he can do. I know right now March Madness is going on and all the crazy stuff's happening. We got Kentucky apparently is eliminated, which, I mean, hey, John Calipari, that's not a great look, but at the same time, that's a whole other conversation. We could talk about that later, because right now we got to give SADDIQ Bey his flowers, damn it. Because, oh my goodness, that was incredible.
I got to talk about SADDIQ Bey.
Yeah, we just got to talk about
it, man.
Yeah, we really do. And I mean, first of all, 10 of 14 from 3. Unreal. The most threes for a Piston in the game. And the last one to do it was Joe Dumars, November 8th, 1994 versus the Timberwolves.
And hey, Sean, if he would have came off that screen, I know they called an offensive foul there with about 5 minutes left. He would have had 54. That shot went in. You guys remember that one?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Smolenic, yeah.
He was just looking to attack all night long. Like every moment of the game. Like he was just, like we were talking about. He had those really rough shooting nights, a few nights in a row. Just had a difficult game. But then for him just to come in and do what he did, I'm in utter disbelief.
Man, look, I expected this from SADDIQ. I've been saying it all season. I've been saying it in the off season. Several of us on this panel have been saying it. We knew that SADDIQ was a baller. The one thing we can say about Blake Griffin is he knew it. He said it that the summer before. SADDIQ even stepped out on the court. He said, that dude is a baller. What I mean by step out on the court is with the Pistons. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah.
When Blake was talking about it? Yeah. I was just talking about this with Rod Beard too. And he said, it's really a toss-up now. It used to be a question about who's the best player. It used to not be a question. It was just Jeremy Grant. Now we legitimately have 3 people to talk about between Cade Cunningham, SADDIQ Bey, and Jeremy Grant.
Yeah.
And it's not that Jeremy Grant has regressed. Is that these young guys are playing so far ahead of the game. Like SADDIQ Bey just dropped 51, and it wasn't one of those. He's not one of those players that, okay, he scored 51 and you're not going to hear from him again. He's a next level talent. I used to think, okay, cool, he could be a cool number 3. I'm sitting here looking at him like, yo, I think King might be right. Like this guy, a couple of you guys said that he might be the Pistons' best player. You know, he's doing what he's supposed to be doing. He's been working on this. It's not a surprise. He's been working on different things that as the season has gone on, you've seen him get more and more and more and more comfortable. These are things he's done in the past. He didn't do them much in college. When you go back and you look at SADDIQ Bey in high school, you see, okay, he had a skill set that they're actually scratching the surface on right now in the NBA. And that's what I love. And that as he's getting comfortable, as he's getting more confident, as Jeremy Grant, you know, has I think got more comfortable with more ballers on this team. You know, he went from not as many hoopers last year or not as experienced to this year. Isaiah Stewart, SADDIQ Bey, you know, even Killian Hayes, and now you add a guy like Kelly Olynyk. You know, the sky's the limit for this iteration of the Pistons with what they have coming. You know, the draft, free agency, cap space. You know, this restore.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The restoration's beginning, man. It's impossible to not see it 100%. So
and he did it. Sorry, Sean. He did it he didn't do it in 40, 45 shots. 27 shots.
27.
Yeah,
17
he did it in an efficient manner.
Exactly.
10 of 14 from the 3. The guy just couldn't miss. And I mean, 24 of those points were in the first quarter alone. I mean, what? Like when Troy, you were saying that it reminded you of Kawhi Leonard. You know what it reminded me a little bit of? Klay Thompson. Just in like how streaky of whenever he has those nights when you know he's on. He is on, and he is not missing. You know what I mean?
Just how easy he makes scoring look too.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
It's easy.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's, you know, especially in a night where you know for a fact that like you're the plan in the scouting report. You're the only guy, like you're the guy that they're looking at. You know, like we really didn't get much Killian Hayes tonight. You know, he had that injury after the first half, went back to the locker room. He bumped into a teammate, right? Do we know exactly what happened with Killian?
He bumped into a teammate. He's good. He got hit in the jaw by a teammate, actually.
Okay.
But he's good. He'll be ready for next game. I've seen him out there on the bench afterwards.
All right, good. I'm glad. Yeah. And I mean, people are saying it, you know, we got to talk about Marvin Bagley as well, because almost every outing, we just see more and more from Marvin Bagley and more to be excited about, you know? So, I'm just ecstatic for the future of this team. By the way, I had someone, I made a video about Marvin Bagley earlier in the week, and I had someone trying to tell me that there's no chance in hell that he'll want to be in Detroit long-term. He's just faking it, all this stuff. And then James Edwards III releases this interview a day later. Him literally just talking about how much he loves playing in Detroit, how he wants to be here long-term, how he's excited to be here when we start winning. You know what I mean? It is just so exciting right now to be a Pistons fan and just have this team going forward. But real quick too, before we keep talking basketball, I do want to say, you know, this is the 313 report, which will be going live every week. At least myself and Kool-Aid will be here every Thursday, bringing it down, but also we'll be joined by people like Deuce and also my guy King, also my guy Troy from time to time. We're going to have a ever rotating crew, but this is just based in Detroit sports, man. This is all about the people. This is all about repping our city and the teams that we love, man. So if you like that, be sure to like this, be sure to subscribe to the channel, be sure to share it with your friends, and be sure to be dropping in the comments and be asking your questions, because we will be answering all of your Pistons questions throughout the night. But King, it looked like you had a point that you wanted to get out there. Go ahead.
I wanted to give a shout out to Ashton, the trainer, once again.
Yes.
This man is a prophet. Even though he took the tweet down, he should have kept it up.
Right.
He prophesied and
Doesn't
said
know.
that SADDIQ Bey and Livers would have good games tonight. And boy, does SADDIQ have a good game tonight, man. So but he's definitely been, like I said, he's so all in, and he definitely spoke to next season, man. He continuously speaks about next season, about how good the Pistons are going to be next season. I totally believe that. Like I said, after we go into this draft and free agency, man, I think we'll be, ready to really start making some noise around here.
Yep.
Oh, 100%. Troy, my guy. What were some of your thoughts? Oh, he's frozen and he's back in here. We got 2 Troys on here now. What's going on? Oh my gosh. But Troy, what do you think's been the difference with Marvin Bagley on this team? Because obviously this team, it's been an almost entirely different team since Marvin stepped into the lineup. What do you think it's just been that extra dimension of being able to go over the cup with it? What do you think?
Yeah, I think that extra dimension is definitely what I see from it. I think he's a guy that can play both ends of the court. He's a guy that really plays good around the rim, and he can finish. And I think that long-term mindset is what we need for a guy like him in Detroit. And we definitely saw that tonight. I mean, he was great. He kind of had a good coming out party, a couple weeks ago with Cade and catching a lot of those lobs and finishing there. But he's a guy that's only 23 years old too. He just turned 23. So I think his ceiling or his peak in his career is ahead. I truly think this is a second chance opportunity for him in Detroit, and I think we see a lot more growth, maybe even next year from Marvin Bagley. So love that he's here. He is that extra dimension. I think that's the best way of putting it.
Yeah, 100%. Even makes guys like Corey Joseph's job easier out there. You know what I mean? I mean, it's the fact that even Corey Joseph can throw that ball up somewhere. And Corey Joseph can finish. By the way, King, your favorite player.
Wait, no, hold on. No, for real. Did y'all see SADDIQ Bey's stat line? Like, for real? Like,
I'm looking at it right now.
3 steals, 4 assists.
Yep. 10
what
rebounds.
10 rebounds.
Everywhere on the court. Everywhere.
Hold on. And he made King forget to go in on Corey Joseph.
Listen,
right. That's the most important thing.
Listen, I actually, I just video just uploaded.
Add to it.
I gave Corey his credit this game. Corey,
what?
I did this game.
He played 50-point games are magical.
Listen, he was bearable this game. He was bearable. He wasn't falling on the floor, doing this to the refs,
as much.
As much. So I like, for what it was worth, I really didn't even care if Corey existed this game. SADDIQ was just it.
Listen, y'all, that's how good SADDIQ Bey was.
We must be in the multiverse because I've never heard King.
We are.
I was waiting for King to just get on and say something.
He was solid, man. He knocked down his shots, man.
I feel like this is going to be like one of those like based on a true story movies later on. It's going to be Corey Joseph from terrible to bearable, and it's going to be the miracle story.
But this is the role that I want to see from Corey Joseph, to fit along with the other guys, not to have the ball in his hands for a ridiculous amount of time, falling on the floor, doing weird stuff. I don't mind this Corey. This is the Corey that I was asking for when, back when we traded for him. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have a problem with it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's just one of those things where every night I watch this team. I mean, let's be honest, about a month and a half ago, it was not a good outlook, right? When we lost like 8 or 9 in a row, it was like we were looking for signs of life out of this team. And now, just as the season has gone on, we just keep seeing reasons to be optimistic and reasons to be excited. And, I don't know about you guys, but now that March Madness is going on, now that we're in the midst of the tournament, I can't help but watch these games and just think about what these guys would look like next to Cade Cunningham and SADDIQ Bey. Like, listen, man, I watched even though the first half of that Gonzaga game was a little scary. Did y'all see Chet Holmgren today?
Yes.
Yeah.
He got 7 blocks today.
Almost had a triple double, man.
With blocks.
I next game is the real test for me though, for Chet. he's going to be playing, a beast down there. So I want to see it.
Oh,
Bro,
100%.
Chet right now is at my number one, even before today's game, man. I said this on a pod that's going to be coming out very, very soon. It was, if I could have my choice, Jabari Smith. Obviously, Jaden Ivey's been a big name, but Chet, man, like that's a unicorn of offensive talent. When you can add him to SADDIQ Bey, who's a wing, and Cade Cunningham, who's a guard, man, you have a big three at each level on the court. From center, your bigs, your wings, your guards. I don't think you could pass that up if you have opportunity to get that. Can you imagine that? You got a whole team full of people who can legitimately, not like Andre Drummond grab the ball off the rim, defensive rebound, and dribble up. I mean, legitimately can grab the ball and in 3 dribbles be down the court and dunking on you, like, or passing or something like that. Like I know that there's a lot that Chet's gonna have to get better at. And I know this isn't even the topic we're on right now, but I don't care, man. That dude is phenomenal. I really hope the Pistons can get him, man. Can draft him.
Yeah, no, hey, this is a open forum, man. We are here. This is the 313 report does not have as much of an agenda. We are more so just talking about what's exciting us right now, man. The agenda is obvious and it's right in front of us, and it's just what an incredible game this was. Now, obviously, the one thing is this could potentially play a factor in the lottery, right? With this being kind of the the tankathon game, the final time these two teams play down the stretch. I'm still not worried. I think the Pistons will still find ways to lose plenty of games as we go down the stretch. That's just the way that it is. But I just
Brother,
again
they tried. They found a way to lose tonight and didn't.
Yeah.
How many guys were out, bro? I don't even believe something. They were like, Cade is sick.
He ain't
sick.
He's
not.
No, he ain't. Did you see him on the sideline? He is not sick, man.
Killian's hurt. Then why is he hopping up and down celebrating SADDIQ?
Right.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
We had Jeremy Grant on the bench, Hamidou Diallo.
So it's not just me. I'm not the only conspiracy theorist on the show.
Hell no, you are, King. Hell no.
No.
How do you look at?
If y'all gonna try and tank, y'all gonna have to sit me out too.
Right.
Otherwise, I'm popping up for 50.
I'm going off. Right.
Oh my! But that is kind of. I think one thing about tonight that made it like authentically SADDIQ Bey. If you look at the numbers, he's one of the only guys that's actually been in the lineup every night. He's been in every game, and so to be that guy, that consistency, that like we know he's gonna be there every night. We know he's gonna be in the building. It just makes it so much. It just makes it, it makes it easier to, to know that like we have that to rely on, and that's how did this guy fall to 19, by the way? I still can't get over that.
Sean, not to cut you off, but I think SADDIQ is the only one on this team that's played every game this season.
Yep.
I think he is.
Yeah,
every single game this season.
Yeah, I think he is. He was there throughout the whole COVID stretch. He genuinely might be the only one that played every single game.
Wow.
Which is absolutely crazy. Troy, I know we're having some technical difficulties a little bit with you, but that's okay. We got you back right now. As the season keeps going down the stretch, who do you think is the most likely to have another performance like this? Do you think we could see another crazy performance like this down the stretch, or do you think we're just gonna have to count on this to be the one? Because the only thing, Cade might have a 40-point game by the time this season's done.
He's definitely gonna get a couple 30 points. He's trying to get Rookie of the Year. We obviously see the opportunities are gonna be there for him to get it. Cade is gonna go out there, and it's easy for Cade to score 20 points, 30 points a night. Like, I know the efficiency issues are there, but when he gets going in the game, he gets going, man. He can go on a streak where he scores 10, 12 points over in less than 10 minutes. We've seen him do that several times and get up hot to 20, 25 points by the end of the game. So I foresee Cade having a couple crazy games. He's comfortable now after All-Star break. His stats look ridiculous. They look utterly ridiculous, man. Like I told Rob Beard this to the Detroit News that do we realize like the historical context? Like in terms of a rookie, Cade has been mentioned in the likes of what Michael Jordan, Isaiah Thomas, Grant Hill.
I don't know. According to the Ringer, he was brought up with Cole Anthony, Brandon Jennings, and
no.
Cade doesn't.
I don't even want to dignify that.
Between the leg dunks, that's what it is. Like I said, since he's not super duper freakishly athletic, no one wants to pay attention.
I just don't understand the Dennis Smith Jr. comparison.
Well, okay,
yes. that the Ringer.
Yeah, so here's the important piece of so I actually not to shamelessly plug, but I'm going to shamelessly plug on the Woodward Sports website. I actually did an article talking a little bit about this, and I did a video talking about this a little bit as well.
Plug it.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, we're plugging. We're already here, man. But so just to show a little bit, I did an article talking about what are some good comparisons for Cade Cunningham, and just kind of went in a little bit on that. So be sure to check that out on the Woodward Sports website. Nice. But also did a video that came out today talking a little bit about the article as well. So be sure to check that out. Again, shameless plugging, but essentially the article, what it said about Cade was that the reason why like those comparisons came up were because those were all high usage, high volume guards that weren't the most efficient their rookie years. However, if you take Cade Cunningham of what he's been since January 1st, he hasn't been that guy. So I think, it's from a solely analytical standpoint, I can understand where it's coming from. However, in my personal opinion, I think that there's certain times where I think the eye test and I think it's not either the eye test or analytics. I think there has to be a blend of both. And this is where the analytics piece failed, right? This is where the eye test was needed, because if you actually watch Cade Cunningham play I was purposefully watching Cole Anthony tonight to see if that was actually comparable. I saw nothing. I saw nothing, no shades of Cade Cunningham's game whatsoever. So I wrote an article talking about what are some good comparisons, what I actually think makes sense. I threw out there Grant Hill. I threw out there Luka Doncic, just the way that they both are high scoring guards, but they also like use their body to like make leverage and to make it so that guys have a hard time sticking with them as they're rolling in the paint. Like they both have you guys been noticing how Cade keeps a lot of his opponents at his hip now and creates a lot of space getting to the rim that way? And I even threw out DeMar DeRozan as well. So, I think there's a lot of good comparisons. It's just, the Ringer made none of them, but, but yeah, go ahead, King.
No, my thing with the Ringer, man, is like I said, one thing that I've always done in my content is there's no knock to nobody who uses stats, but stats to me is only supposed to help a guy's, how a guy is saw out there on the court. You have to actually watch players. You know what I'm saying? When guys just go leading off stats, it drives me absolutely, crazy. It's the eye test. You know what I'm saying? We basketball watchers first, and then the stats only help. Right. Because the stats don't tell a whole story.
Yeah.
So
yeah, exactly. And that's kind of the point. And that's kind of the point, I think. And I think that's exactly what I think I'm trying to drive home on, is that, stats only tell some of the story. You know what I mean? And I was even hearing someone say, the phrase numbers don't lie. Well, that's not true. Numbers do lie. They're used to lie, and they're used to manipulate and tell your own story all the time. So numbers very much can lie. But I did want to point out this question from Truth Teller 2011. Thank you so much for being in here. And if you have questions just like him, be sure to drop that in the comment section down below as well. But can Chet Holmgren play center in the NBA at that size? 195 pounds. I know he can ball, but man, that's a really small frame. I understand the hesitancy with his frame, and I'm not sure if he's a conventional center in the way that we normally think of centers. But what I would say is, in my opinion, I think at the very least, it doesn't matter if he plays center or the 4, he can be a great rim protector. The guy has great shot blocking instincts. Not just any guy can go out there and get 7 blocks in a game, right? That's just not common. And so for this guy who's averaging 45, who's shooting 45% from the 3 since January 1st and is averaging almost 4 blocks a game is almost unheard of. So there are just too many things in his game that just make it look inherently terrifying for other defense or for other teams in the NBA. Go ahead, Kool-Aid.
Yeah. I was gonna say, there, it's a two-way street in basketball. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are definitely some centers who are gonna have, their best nights against them. That's just how it goes in the NBA. Even a guy like Andre Drummond goes in and gives people 30 or 20 just based on the dynamic of the teams. Like, we see him going to Boston, we saw him going against the Warriors and absolutely go ham and berserk against those types of teams just because of the makeups. But that's not how we denote what a center is in today's NBA. Somebody has to score. Somebody has to guard him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And then the centers he's defending, most of them are going to be trying to play like he is, but probably aren't going to be as skilled. So I believe early on he's going to be a much better help side defender than he is just straight up. I believe his size is going to play and getting used to that speed of the NBA. That's going to take some getting used to, some time, definitely. But like you said, it's no longer this conventional center aspect. Andre Drummond had the size to play conventional center in the NBA, and we were just like, yo, we'll give you away for free. You know what I'm saying? So, so with that, I'm telling you, you roll the dice and you go, because you know what I hate? I hate when you get that guy that's supposed to be, he can play defense. He's a two-way guy, and then he's getting cooked. I hated that, man, like with Stanley Johnson. Yeah. I absolutely, I hated it. And I think that's what hurt his confidence here more than anything is he was like, yo, at least he's a defensive stopper, though. He can't score like Devin Booker, but and then he's getting cooked.
Well, it almost was like when he came to Detroit, like his first year, that defense is a big part of his identity. But it almost felt like year 2, he almost immediately, his focus went away from that end of the ball. It almost seemed like he stopped working on that end of the ball. And every stop he had until he got to LA, that followed him everywhere, right? Like even in Toronto, like he tells the story of Masai Ujiri sitting him down, telling him he's a bad basketball player. Do you remember when Stanley Johnson got called out alongside the other young guys on the Toronto Raptors for their effort and practice? I mean, that was the piece of it.
The GM calls one of our draft picks a bad basketball player. You know what I'm saying? Like, goodness gracious, yo. Troy Weaver has really, really, really done a magnificent job getting this whole entire roster turned over, man.
Agreed.
Yeah. That's crazy. I didn't hear that. I've never heard that story before.
Yeah.
You can link me or something, bro. That's crazy.
I'll be sure to look it up, but I'll be sure to link that. I heard Stanley talking about that at one point, or I heard that when I was like watching ESPN, like that was like a real thing in his career. Like when he left Toronto, like Masai Ujiri like sat him down and was like, you're a bad basketball player right now. And like he did it out of love, and he talked about how that was something that really helped turn around his career, So I'm happy for him. But on the Detroit end, I know it's easy to look at the record. I know it's easy to get focused on the fact of where we're at right now, but y'all, imagine if we get a top 3 pick alongside these guys. It's not even like, because last year we had to pray to God we got the number 1 pick. And that was like, that was like our sole focus. But now with where we're at, if we land anywhere in the top 5, especially that top 4, we are sitting pretty, y'all.
Yeah,
it is.
Because if we go on that 4, and say for instance we do get Ivy, we go in free agency and get the bid that we need. You see what I'm saying?
Man, we got to settle for Jaden Ivey.
Yeah, exactly.
Bro, that would be an explosive backcourt.
Yeah. Well, even then though, even if we have beef stew out there with Jabari Smith Jr. or a Chet Holmgren front court with Isaiah Stewart, like that's not a bad place to build from. You know what I mean? At least that is a hell of a start. So
again, we get to talk about this, and what makes it even a little bit sweeter is we're not talking about this with we would have been happy with Jalen Green. We're talking about this with Cade Cunningham, SADDIQ Bey, Isaiah Stewart, Jeremy Grant, cap space, draft picks, because you know Troy Weaver's not just going in and sitting pretty like, yay, I got a top 3 pick. I think he's going in this year to say, you know what, we're too good. We're too good to have the psyche of our young players damaged by having another kind of tank here. This team,
Absolutely.
if they add a top 3 or top 4 player, they have to play hard every single night. I don't want to see this style of play or lose 6 games and then all of a sudden you're beating all of the playoff teams and looking like world beaters. And then like we can all see how it just seems like there's a button pushed and then tank mode is on. Next year, I really, really, really want to see this team compete. I know that they still have some dead money on the books, some things they're trying to do, but play in bottom of that playoffs. They need to be pushing for that. Seriously.
Yeah, 100%. And the time is now. Like it really, and that is the thing. And even if ultimately like next year, we even if we don't have a crazy free agency class or anything like that, I don't think that necessarily matters, because at the end of the day, it's really about what happens at that draft. And someone actually, again, Truth Tell asked another question, which again, if you have questions, be sure to drop them in the comments. We have some pretty awesome Pistons minds here. And,
I like Keegan Murray.
Yeah, Keegan Murray. Yeah. So if the Pistons fall out of the top 4, meaning no chance to select Ivy, Banchero, Holmgren, or Smith, who in your opinion should the Pistons draft? Now, in my opinion, the odds of us being outside of the top 4 aren't super high. However, it can happen. I mean, we've seen teams fall out multiple times, but I do know this is a pretty deep draft class. Do you guys have any players deeper in that draft that you're looking at that you like? I'm going to be honest with you. I've been very, very hover focused on that top 4. So I need to maybe expand my horizons a little more and not live like life is luxury all the time. But what are you guys thinking?
I would say Durant, Murray. Those are 2 other guys that I've been watching. So yeah, somebody in the comments just said the same thing. Murray, Durant. So yeah, those 2 I've definitely been watching. Like I said, this tournament is going to tell me a lot. It's going to tell me a lot about some of these guys. I want to see how they match up, and especially on a big stage.
Yeah.
But for everybody, it's like I said, you can't lose if you're the Pistons. You cannot lose in this draft. You just cannot, man. So
because even remember how mad we all were when we only got the 7th pick, Troy Weaver's first summer. Like we thought that draft was, we thought we were going to get this slow start to our rebuild, and then we get 3 hits right then and there. It just, man, there is just so many reasons to be excited. Cause to your point, just like you said, there is guys like, Keegan Murray out of Iowa that are right there. There are guys that Jalen Durant, like there's a lot of good talent in this draft.
Yeah, and not just that, man. Not to cut you off, but
how
just to highlight. Just to highlight how well Troy Weaver has drafted in the 2nd round. You know what I'm saying? Like these drafts, the deeper they get, the better the player Troy Weaver is going to find, because a lot of these other GMs are bums, straight up. Like I'm a bum too, because I don't have that job. So, I'm not trying to hate. I'm just saying, as it relates to Troy Weaver against his peers, he's gonna find 2 good players minimum in this next draft, man. Like I bet money on it. Anybody want to take that bet?
Yeah, oh no, hey man.
No,
Isaiah Livers, man.
Yeah,
oh my God.
That's what I'm
A
saying,
lot of
man.
people thought we went and got Isaiah Livers just for a feel-good story, guy from Michigan, John Beeline's on the staff, no, it had nothing to do with it.
I don't think Troy Weaver works that way, man.
A lot of people saying that was a waste of, like, a lot of people thought that was just going to be like a waste of a pick. But that pick has proven to be So crucial, especially how he played in that Miami game, man.
Man,
Which that was a
flashes,
weird one.
He's been knocking down a lot of big shots, man, since he's been playing.
How
The
many second
transition
rounders
that-
played tonight?
What's that?
But I
that?
said how many second rounders played tonight?
Well, we
Stephen
got
Lee,
mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Marco?
played well.
Isaiah Livers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We got
Yeah, these are Troy picks.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. And then yeah, it's man, yeah. And by the way, Saban Lee had a good night too.
Yeah,
a
he
lot
did.
of people were counting him out real quick.
Talking about the MVP of the G League here.
Yeah,
Right.
Mr. Wilt Chamberlain of the G League,
That's
man,
right.
goes down there and just torches them all. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
7 assists off the bench.
Yeah.
Oh
It's
my
like the
gosh.
night he comes in and finally kind of looks like, hey, you know what? He should be taking Corey's spot. Then Corey Joseph has a game so good that King even compliments him. It's like a no-win right here.
It was okay. It wasn't good.
Yeah. It wasn't that great. Went 4-12 from the
Right.
field. Like
It had to be super good in King's eyes for him to say, you know what?
King had enough fun watching SADDIQ Bey go out and score 51. He can't be too cranky. You know what I
He had a
mean?
good move,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I mean,
No.
Michigan won today too, which by the way, real quick, I feel like we got to at least acknowledge the Michigan game today a little bit
Hey.
too. Michigan
Yeah.
came
Go
out,
blue,
played
go
pretty
blue.
well. First half, they played like absolute dog,
Oh,
but then that
goodness.
second half was a whole different story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They just they
gotta-
turned up.
Sean, I gotta hit you with it, man. I gotta put my horns on.
Uh-huh.
What's Jeremy Grant's future?
Oh man. All right.
Let's talk about
So if you're asking me today, if you're asking me off of a 51 point performance from SADDIQ Bey, I can't picture him in a Pistons uniform next year. It's hard to, because like unless he accepts this role of because if we land like a guy like Jabari or Holmgren or Bonchero, like you're asking either Jeremy or SADDIQ to go into the bench. Like that just doesn't feel realistic to me. And I mean, also, if you're looking again, I keep bringing up, I still think Chicago would be a great landing spot for him. If you look at, have you seen their record against teams with winning records or
No.
teams that are at the top of the standings? I believe it's 2-16. Like
it.
they
yeah.
are bad against good teams. It's not that they're
You said whose record is that?
the Chicago Bulls.
Wow.
That's surprising.
Yeah, like they've had a great year. It's just, I have it right here. The Bull, I'll even share it right now.
So
Regular
they're just
season
lunching
Warriors.
against the teams they should beat.
Yeah, regular season Warriors, man.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So I have it right here. The Bulls are 2-16 versus teams with a better record than them this season. By the way, people are going to look at this DM. Lexi was supposed to join us tonight, but she was not feeling well. So shout out to Lexi. Feel better.
Shout out to Lexi.
So yeah, 100%. But anyway, that is insane. But again, I look at them and they, there's no way with that nucleus that they got to be satisfied with that. So I just have a hard time envisioning a team like that not wanting to make a move. The Utah Jazz, obviously, they have a lot of moves that they're going to want to make going forward. So to me, there's a lot of situations that make sense for Jeremy Grant. It's just the more that I see this team, like the more that I just see performances like these, it just becomes harder to envision Jeremy Grant in a Pistons uniform.
The thing with Jeremy Grant that I caution in terms of chasing him out is this. The one thing I know is that Troy Weaver is going to get the best deal, whether it's Jeremy Grant in a Pistons jersey or whether it's Jeremy Grant being traded or even just letting him walk. He's going to get the best deal out of the situation. So I do trust Troy Weaver in this
for sure.
But when I look at Jeremy Grant and I look at the makeup of when he and SADDIQ Bey are playing, there are stretches when the Pistons, some of the better teams that they beat, it was because Jeremy Grant and SADDIQ Bey were popping off at different portions of the game.
Right.
And I know Casey, he did make mention to the fact that he's trying to make them interchangeable. If he can get it to where these guys can play large stretches of the game, obviously staggering some minutes, and Jeremy Grant being the more mature player, hoping that he can kind of see what's was before him as it relates to SADDIQ Bey and his offensive talent. If he can kind of play that same role that he had in Denver, but a little bit more the vet, a little bit more, hey, I got the last word, and we see he's capable in the clutch.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
he is.
comfortable with Jeremy Grant, SADDIQ Bey, or Cade Cunningham in the clutch. I believe that this can work. I don't think that we should be, and it's just my opinion, I don't think we should be so quick to try and get Jeremy Grant out of here. He presents a lot of good, especially on the defensive end.
And I want to clarify, I do want to clarify that I feel like relative to a lot of people in Pistons Twitter and in the Pistons sphere, I think I'm a pretty staunch Jeremy Grant supporter. I love him on this team. He came to Detroit. He chose to come to Detroit when we were at the very bottom. You know, and on top of that, he does still bring a lot of value to this team. My thing is, and again, it just comes back to, if we are in a position where we have a top 3 pick, at that point is when I have a hard time seeing Jeremy Grant on this team long term. Now, again, if we end up with a guy like Ivy, at that point, Jeremy Grant, you know, we've kind of talked about this before, King. We talked about this on your stream last week when we hopped in there. It's just kind of, if we get a guy like Ivy, then at that point it makes more sense to have a guy like Jeremy Grant in the lineup, because, you know, at that point we'll still need a good 4, right? But again, if we get a guy like Chet or we get a guy like Jabari, then at that point you have to look at, all right, well, who's going to play the 3? And right now, I have a hard time saying I want SADDIQ Bey coming off the bench, because now don't get me wrong, if he did, he'd probably be an amazing 6th man if he came and agreed to that. But
he's never come off the bench.
Yeah, that's the thing though. He's too good. He really is too good. So
yeah, before that happened, Jeremy have to go. I'm sorry. I love Jeremy.
Yeah.
But you know, like I said, this draft is gonna tell us everything we need to know.
Yeah, bro. If there's a way that they can be integrated to where they're playing off of each other well, because there are games early in the season where when Jeremy was more of the main option, SADDIQ was invisible.
Right.
He struggled. He would shoot under 20%. He wasn't even looking for a shot. He didn't look comfortable. He was deferring. So if there's a way that they can be integrated together and playing well together, like Brandon, like Kool-Aid was saying, I'm all for it. But I'm not going to have him here at the expense of SADDIQ suffering.
Where I would push back on that, Deuce, is, in my opinion, I do think we have seen signs that these 3 guys can't play together. If we look at that, especially if we look at that stretch right after the All-Star break, when these guys were coming out and averaging, you know, 60 some points a night together. Yeah. You know what I mean? And, you know, there have been nights where they can come out and they can play at that level. Now, obviously, there have been nights too where Jeremy's gone out and gotten 20, but then SADDIQ only has 9. I don't know if that's because Jeremy and him are on the court together. I just think there's just nights where SADDIQ has it and there's nights where SADDIQ doesn't. I don't know what you're doing, Cool.
Which I think that's for, and who do you think it's related to? Or I can just tell you.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
No.
SADDIQ Bey. What year is this for SADDIQ Bey?
Oh, year 2. It's year 2. He's still young. Yeah. So that's what I was about to say.
SADDIQ Bey is gonna have
50-point
games. He gonna have 9 points.
Baby.
SADDIQ Bey is gonna have to learn how to play with people, because I'm telling you, you bring in another top talent. You have to understand this top 3 pick is going to take Jeremy Grant's touches. Period. SADDIQ Bey, as a young player, has to learn how to play with his teammates. When his 3 is on, then all of a sudden it's more natural. But the problem is this: there's nights when SADDIQ Bey has the space and the shots and the touches to get comfortable, or to go into the game knowing I'm already comfortable. He has to defeat that from the beginning and go out there and be a basketball player. That's what SADDIQ Bey has as a young player. That's what he has to do. So whether Jeremy Grant is here or not, that's the next step in his evolution. You know, the early season struggles came because, in case he said it, he's working on new things. Now he's a little bit more comfortable. So we see nights where it's clicking, then we see nights where it's off. We see nights where it's clicking, we see nights where it's off. Jeremy Grant as well. Jeremy Grant is working on things. He's trying to see if he can be that number 1 scorer. Or, you know what? Troy, Grant, we know each other. Do you want to be here? You know, these other teams, they're not really going to throw you that 27, 25, 20. I will bring you back here, maybe on a little bit reduced. You have a role on this team. Obviously, we have a respect for you. There is a way to make them work. There is a way that they can work. It's like I said, the top of that draft, I 100% agree with that. It changes things because Jeremy Grant not being here means another draft pick or another good player or bench player or a couple other players or cap relief is coming back to the Pistons. And in the hands of Troy Weaver, I love that. I do. It's just I don't, I just caution. I just caution. There are other factors, but I see
and you're right too. Yeah.
But
no, I just wanted to say, when is the last time we sat here and tried to understand or debate between good players that we got on our team who should be here and who shouldn't? Like, when was the last time we did that?
Yeah, when is the last time we've had a wealth of players to where
Charlie V and Ben Gordon.
Oh my God.
Listen, bro. We've had Gigi Datomi on this team, bro.
Gigi.
I'm mad, dog. The whole
top row face palm, Joe. I'm sorry.
Walter Herman.
I made both of y'all face palm. I'm so sorry.
Hey, Kool-Aid. Kool-Aid, you know you were doing that. You knew damn well what you were doing with that, bro. You're acting like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make y'all face. You know exactly.
Here's another one. Y'all remember when Josh Smith hit that game-winning 3 in preseason?
I think it was
and Tom Gores rushed the court.
I do. Yeah.
I think it was one of 3 career threes he had. Dude, I will say one of my favorite things about my guy Tom Gores is when you can tell when that man is shit-faced because he'll run out there on that court and get all up there with everybody. And it's like, all right, Tom, you're partying a little too hard. You shouldn't be hitting that courtside bar too hard. But hey, I'm happy for you. But oh my gosh, man. Yeah, we're in a great spot. I mean, obviously, I watching that Clippers team that came in on Sunday that had a lot of our former players, Luke Kennard and Reggie Jackson and Marcus Morris. I mean, obviously, it's great to see those guys doing well. And I remember, I think Eli Bashi specifically talked about, wow, it's almost like you could build a good team around these guys and like see them like, do things. But like, to me, in my opinion, when I watched that game, it was like I was happy for them. I was happy to see Reggie do well. I'm happy to see, like these guys are kind of having like, like better days in the Clippers uniforms than they did here. But I also acknowledge that like those days were never going to work here in Detroit. That like when they were here, they were never going to be a championship contending team because here they were the nucleus. In Clip City, they're the icing on the cake. They're the things that go around when they're there. Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, like they're the things that supplement that. Whereas here they were the core. Like it wasn't going to work when they're the core.
And we'll see, especially when you got guys like Stan Van Gundy around here, and I mean, the only way it could have worked if you were able to bring some actual guys to help contribute with that situation as far as the star players, but we all know how it goes with bringing stars here to Detroit. So that's just something that we just cannot do until they're 38 years old and on the end of their career.
Well, but like there is going to be a time though. I mean, like there is going to be a time in the next year or two. Like I just want to prepare y'all. We're gonna make a trade at some point. Like Troy Weaver. Right now, we are accumulating all the chips. We're at the casino. We're playing the penny slots, and we're just slowly but surely climbing our way up. And we're getting ready to go over to the blackjack table and just go all in. Hit me. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So that's gonna come.
I just hope it's not a bad one.
Well, that's the thing, and that's the point I'm gonna make is that it's got to be the right guy. Now, here's the thing: we got to have faith that Troy Weaver is gonna do it right, because I don't think. If we're going to trade for a star, or if we're going to trade for a guy, it's not going to be a Russell Westbrook. It's not going to be a Blake Griffin. It's not going to be a DeMontis Sabonis. It's not going to be this short-sighted move that you think is going to get you somewhere, but in reality doesn't change the thing. I mean, the Indiana Pacers have a better record than the Sacramento Kings right now ever since the trade deadline. That's something I can't stop talking about, because that's the exact kind of move that the former Pistons would make. When people were like, oh, that wasn't that bad of a trade. What are you talking about? What I was talking about is that you're giving up the future to try and go in now and hope it works out when and De'Aaron Fox has been playing great. He's been averaging like 29 points. He's almost averaging like a double-double every night, borderline triple-double. He's playing fantastic. It doesn't even matter, though. You want to know why? Because guys like that, they're not coming in and they're not going to win games. So it's just one of those things where, you got to get the right guys in there.
Yeah, they were acting like they were close to the conference championship or something, and it's like, bro, you made that trade to do what?
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. And I'm over here chuckling just because some of the moves that I know we've probably bantered about through the years, defended through the years, and we're looking back now like, yo, Troy is a real professional over the last 10 to 12 years of moves that we've been going back and forth on. Like we were really sitting here like, yeah, I like Stan Van Gundy, the GM. Like some people we were saying that early on. Now I'm looking at Troy like, oh, that's how you do this thing. I'm gonna keep saying it, man. 3 first-round picks in 1 draft out of no assets. I don't understand that.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously. And how does the NBA look at these players, man? Luke Kennard instantly got the bag from the Clippers. We got what? SADDIQ Bey and Isaiah Stewart in return for Christian Wood and Luke Kennard.
I still
That's
people
professional.
I still see I still see people that are mad that we don't have Bruce Brown anymore. To me, I don't think about that. I like it's not even in my realm of concerns because oh darn, we got SADDIQ Bey. What a bummer. Shout out to Alan Humphrey. He said I can't believe never subscribed to this channel. Just did. I love this live stream. Appreciate that, Alan. We're gonna be having these live streams each and every week. And King, the Deuce, you guys are welcome every week, man. I love having you guys here, man.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah, absolutely. But keep dropping your questions because we're just loving to answer them. We got someone was surprised that we were happy about Sam Van Gundy. He said you did. I hated him since I watched him ruin Orlando.
Oh man.
Listen, man, the Orlando situation, that's a whole different ball game. It's one of those things where the Dwight Howard's a whole different character, man. And I have a hard time blaming him entirely for what happened down there. But I will say I can sure as hell blame Stan Van Gundy a whole lot for what happened up here in Detroit. I can sure as hell do that. Gladly.
That man's a nutcase, man.
Yeah.
Stan Van Gundy's a nutcase.
Yo, I felt like he was did y'all see the NBA TV broadcast at all? Did y'all see that halftime?
No.
I'm gonna try and find the video, man. I felt like he was being a little greasy towards SADDIQ Bey.
Of course.
He was like,
yeah.
Halftime, he was like, SADDIQ Bey, him. I'm just like, yes, him.
Yeah, but that's who he is.
Haven't you been watching?
That's who he is, Kool-Aid. That's
a hater, dog.
Man. He's never gonna give nobody credit. I used to get so tired of watching the game and just hearing this fat guy yelling on the court, Andre, would you shut up? Gee whiz.
Andre! Dude, by the way, can I just say one of my favorite things?
Sound just like him too.
Yeah, dude. One of my favorite things. Dude, that guy, Luke Kennard, would get a reach-in foul like 5 minutes into the game, and he'd be like, "You're out for the whole game. Get out of here!"
God,
like,
man.
Dude, yeah. Someone just
forgetting we even had players, man. Like, Louis did draft Luke Kennard.
You know what got me was his mannerisms on the side. Like whenever somebody's trying to close out for a block, he would always do this thing with his arms, like, just get there. Anybody ever see that with this thing where he would just
Man, but he was a treasure. I wish he did better because that would have been better for us.
Yeah.
But he gave us a lot of content, man.
Well, the
forever be a
problem
legend for FAFW.
Well, here's the thing. I never had a huge problem with I never had a huge problem with like Stan Van Gundy being brought in as the coach. The problem was we gave him the keys to the car. You know what I mean? The problem was he was the president too, which, by the way, I will say this photo is blurry as hell, but I'm going to share it anyway. I will say Stan Van Gundy, the only man I've ever seen in my life pull off a fedora. The only man. And even, this is a long time ago, as you can tell. I'm a little young The little young white kid next to Stan Van Gundy. I look weird, but
Look at
hey,
Sean.
yeah, look at that, man. But
I mean, let's not act like, when he first came in, he had us all duped.
he
Pistons
100% did.
came out 5-0. I'm making videos. Stan Van Gundy is on the bike on the picture on front of album covers.
Yep, he got us all.
I remember.
Yeah,
It was good for the culture. It was the start of the kind of culture rebuild that was going up, man. Like he was, like I said, as a coach, as a personality, for like knowing where we are right now. I'm glad that was a step right before, because if it was more like Custer years and Mo Cheeks who coached like 13 games, there we go.
When this man came out,
that album cover snapped.
It was dope though. It was dope at the time.
Dude,
who is that? Is that Servetus in the background?
that's the Vetus in the background. Yep.
Hey.
Yeah, dude, this went hard. I don't care. Like, if this is his legacy in Detroit, is just having this look, I don't care, because this was cool as hell. I mean,
he just gotta stop being a hater though, man. He needs to start really, really cheering for these Pistons. I will say, I like them as coach, but he gotta stop being a hater.
Do any of you ever watch like him on the TNT broadcast, where like he's just like shitting on the refs the entire time? He's just like, now that's not a foul that I would normally call in this situation, and it's just like literally all he does is just commentate on what the refs are doing. I
wish he did that when he was here in Detroit, man. I'd be so mad after the games. He would just crash on. Andre Drummond needs to do this better.
Yeah, I was just about to say,
but he's getting fouled all night.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
No, there was no other team. There was no other players on the team, man. It was just Andre.
There.
He didn't even have a last name. It's just Andre.
Man.
Hey man, at the end of the day, at least this man wasn't part of the crew that brought out Josh Smith, Andre Drummond, and Greg Monroe in one roster. That's what I will say.
They were like, man, Drummond just didn't play every night. You have a fat guy on the sideline talking about Andre all game. Like, I'm ready to go, man. I don't want to play.
Oh my goodness, man. Yeah, it's someone just said Dwight Howard impersonation of SVG is spot on. That is one of my favorite things.
Yes.
Yes.
That's hilarious.
That's classic.
Yeah, it's absolute classic. Oh my gosh.
Sean, getting back to that front court, that was one of the most brutal front courts I can remember. The three of them with Josh.
Yeah. Whew. Well, and the thing that was insulting about it, well, okay, first of all, the existence of that front court was what was so insulting about it. But the other thing that was that the year that the Warriors, showed that we were heading towards 3-point shooting, and that the modern big man, or that the big man of old is not what we're looking for anymore, is the year that Detroit said, we're going to put all of them in one lineup together. And it's like, the difference is, because we're seeing Cleveland right now. They have 3 7-footers in their starting lineup when everyone's healthy, right? They have Lauri Markkanen, they have Evan Mobley, they have Jared Allen. The difference is those guys can actually spread the floor. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Those guys can actually shoot the three.
Well, bro, hold on, no, bro. They sold this to us as Greg Monroe was the next coming of Antonio McDyess.
Yeah,
they say he was gonna be hitting the mid range, and they told us someone bought this BS in the front office that Josh Smith was the next level big man to shoot threes, bro.
No.
Like, they tried to sell that to us fans. So I'm just I think back on it now that we're sitting here with the luxury of being able to look at Cade Cunningham and SADDIQ Bey, and I'm like, dude, they really tried to sell us that front court. Like, I'm like, man, that was terrible. I'm looking back on it now, like, yo, those were some really buffoonery years. Like, straight up.
Yeah, my guy Chris Anton in the comments saying I'm late to the stream, but is Bey the first Piston to go for 50 since Blake? Yes, he is. This is the first Piston to go for 50 since that night against Philly back in 2018. And I believe the 7th Piston in franchise history to go for 50, if I remember right.
Yep, he's 7.
Yep. And
George Yardley did it twice.
Yeah. And again, he also tied the franchise record, Joe Dumars' record from November of 1994 against the Minnesota Timberwolves for the most threes in a single game with 10. Went 10 of 14 from beyond the arc, finished with 51 points. So, Chris, thank you for being here. Everyone else being here, be sure to drop your questions. Let us know in the comments down below.
I got a question for you guys. I got a question for you guys. Look, a lot of times when these teams get a young player who's doing well, it's that young player who's doing well, and you got to go and supplement with like other big time players to really be able to get them going. Devin Booker, he needed Chris Paul. I know they have some other young guys there that are chipping in, but have you ever seen where, okay, Cade Cunningham has come in, #1 pick. He's looking just like he could have one of those leaps like LaMelo and potentially sneak into the All-Star game next year. Have we seen this before where you legitimately have this many young guys? SADDIQ Bey could have legitimately won the Rising Stars MVP. You know what I'm saying? Isaiah Stewart, he has some more work to put in. We see he got that dog in him, that tenacity. Has there been like a better start to a rebuild?
Not necessarily from
G State.
The one,
Golden State.
That's how I'm hoping this thing is going. That's
and you know, and we're doing it the exact same way. Yeah, we're taking our time. We're doing it the same way, and then the free agents will come in the latter part.
Maybe the other team that
I knew one of you basketball minds would get it. G State, that's a great call there. And when we look at what Troy is doing, these aren't just good young players. SADDIQ Bey and Cade Cunningham keep popping up in these stats. And these these are the first players since somebody a long time ago to do X, Y, and Z. You know what? I keep trying to temper the excitement. But every time we start to talk about it, like you, King, Sean, and Deuce, sometimes we just chuckle about it because we did follow up the Chauncey Billups Piston years with the buffoonery years, man. And a lot of stuff that they tried to sell us. A lot of teams, like as we look back on it now, when we were, we could talk basketball, but we resigned to the fact, hey, we don't know the business of it. That's what we kept getting told. Now that we're looking back on it, and it's just like, yo, those were some awful years, man. Awful. Yeah. Our players keep showing up and stuff like this, and that's what I mean. Like, is this happening with Devin Booker and Ayton? You know what I mean? Is this happening for other? Is this happening out in Houston? Do you hear KPJ and Jalen Green popping up and stuff like this, like nightly? Like, yo, look, I'm making the graphics for Woodward. Myself, Nick, Anthony, Jonah, Ben, all of us. Bro, this stuff is coming through the wire literally daily. And I don't ever remember this on a team where the young players were consistently breaking records, except for you go back to, I guess, Golden State.
And again, I'm showing this on the screen right now. SADDIQ Bey became the first player in Pistons history to record at least 51 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 steals in a game. The last NBA player to record such minimums was James Harden at San Antonio in 2019. So again, it's not just the fact that he scored 51 points. It's the fact that because normally when a guy goes out and scores 51, they're really not doing much else. That's kind of what they're doing, and that's kind of about it. SADDIQ was all over the court tonight. He was
diving on the floor too.
Yeah, 100%. He was giving it his all, man. So people saying, where are the flowers? Like, Elton, we are the forefront here at the 313 report, giving flowers, man, because this guy absolutely deserves it, man. Absolutely deserves it.
Absolutely.
Kid worked hard, man. Worked hard for these first 2 years.
Yeah, 100%. Someone. Go ahead. Sean. I was just gonna say, someone said in the comments. This might be the best rebuild we have since OKC with Durant, Westbrook, and Harden. That might be the best example.
And you know what they have in common?
Yep. Say it.
Troy Weaver.
Say it.
Exactly.
100%, man. I'm sorry though. What were you guys saying?
Speaking of Troy Weaver, I want to go back to Bagley for a second.
Yeah, let's do it, man.
It was just one game tonight, right? But I'm looking at who he went head to head against, a guy that many people are clamoring for us to go get potentially in the offseason in Mo Bamba. He had a good game, 10 points, 11 boards. But what did Bagley do? 20 and 11. So once again, the wizardry of Troy Weaver, he knows exactly what he's looking for.
And you know what? Bagley rumors, man, we heard this. We heard Bagley to Detroit when Troy got here. So sometimes I think when we're clamoring, when we want something, we have a vision, and we don't see the Pistons go and do that right away. I think sometimes as fans, we have we can overreact when Troy probably knew the whole time, I'm going to get Marvin Bagley at my price.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to give you your first round pick. I'm not going to. I will wait because I'm rebuilding, fools. Like straight up, I can outweight you. And then it got to the point where it's like, dude, do something. And he got Marvin Bagley, and so, even the Christian Wood trade. We talked about this before when everyone said you have to trade him now. Right after the deadline, everyone thought that's the stupidest thing, and he was unrestricted. I still scratch my head like, yo, how did you lowball Christian Wood and convince him to do a sign and trade so we could get Isaiah Stewart? I don't understand what you're doing, but keep doing it, brother. Seriously.
I want to say this about Orlando. I know a lot of people, you guys been seeing the videos I've been putting out about Cade, him not getting the respect he deserves.
Yeah, which, by the way, check out Everything King's channel, by the way, man. One of the best creators we have in this area. But go ahead, King.
I also want to say Franz Wagner doesn't get respect he deserves either.
Agreed.
That kid is really good, man.
He is a hell of a ball player.
Yes,
I was impressed.
I think
very impressed.
I think anytime you have anytime that you have a guy that has a brother in the league or has that family lineage, we always look at what they are and assume that that's what they're going to be. But I mean, Wagner for the Magic has just been special. I still think Jalen Suggs can be a good point guard in this league. I don't think what we've seen this year has been fully indicative of what he can be. I do think Orlando has some good players. Cole Anthony, definitely not like Cade Cunningham. I will keep saying that till the day I die. Exactly.
After what he said about this city, Cole Anthony, and I was so happy when he missed that dunk because he still got them Timbs on. He need to take those Timberlands off.
Yeah, man. When you're somehow the which, by the way, he was pretty damn bad in that dunk contest. The fact that he was somehow not the worst part, cough, Jalen Green, cough. That's just a whole other conversation.
Don't speak bad on Detroit.
Don't.
Detroit versus everybody, dude. 100%.
And it's fighting back this year too.
Yeah. Someone asked, Randall D'Angelo asked, do we re-sign Bagley and still get a big via draft or free agency? To answer your question, Randall, I'm just gonna go out on a limb and speak for everybody here. Go ahead and disagree with me if you need to. Whatever Detroit does this summer is going to have nothing to do with Marvin Bagley on this team. They're going to make it right now, even though we are in a good spot. Marvin Bagley is playing well. We are in a position where we are moving forward and we're seeing good things and positive momentum happening. We're still in a position where we're still accumulating talent, and there's really only two players at this point, or one player that you're really making decisions based off of on this team right now. It's Cade Cunningham. You can make an argument after tonight. SADDIQ Bey is one of them too. But I think to answer your question, Detroit could try to go out and get a big. I mean, this kind of leans to another question, which is, who do y'all think is a realistic free agent signing we could get this summer? I'd love Ayton, but I'm not sure if he'll come here unless he'd want a bigger role. The thing is, Ayton, first of all, he's going to be a restricted free agent as well. If Phoenix goes and has playoff success this year, there's no chance in hell they let him walk. So I think that's just important. The same thing with Miles Bridges. I know the Flint native guy from Detroit, lifelong Pistons fan, but he's also shown desire of being a Hornet for life. And, he's a restricted free agent too. So now that we are kind of getting closer to this summer, is there a guy that you guys like? I know Jalen Brunson is one that's been thrown around, but I know I had some hesitancies on that. King, I think if I remember correctly, I think you have some hesitancies on that too. What do you guys think? Indifferent.
This free agency class is there are players to like. Most of them are restricted free agents.
Yeah.
This year, I think the trade market is going to be bigger. So the teams with the cap space are going to be approached by teams looking to dump their players or looking to do, draft day trade deals and things of that nature. That's where I think Detroit may be more involved. I don't really have, like you said, Brunson, maybe, but do you really want to spend the money that way?
No.
I'm tired of all the dead money on the books already. Yeah. Even though Troy has kind of done it strategically, I don't want to wind up in that type of situation again. I believe Jeremy Grant needs to be about the most, money we're spending on a player. I'm not sold on this year's free agency class,
Yeah,
man.
I mean,
Very
yeah, I mean,
Same.
I know Yusuf Nurkic is a free agent in the summer. Apparently, I don't have any interest in Yusuf Nurkic. I
Not
mean,
a Pistons style player.
let's be honest, y'all.
Right.
It's not a
I
like
love the way Sean said that. Like, I let you know he's a free agent, and I also got to let you know I don't want him here.
yeah, like
Right.
I mean, like Mitchell Robinson. That's a guy that I could see Detroit going after. Like if I'm looking at realistic free agents, that might be one right there. I like Mitchell Robinson. Now, Mitchell Robinson isn't a guy that I'm running to go out and get. I will say he's a great shot blocker. He is a great rim runner. So like if we could have like Mitchell Robinson in the starting five, and then a guy like Marvin Bagley off the bench, having a lob threat on the court almost at all times, that'd be pretty nice. However, I mean, again, there's not a free agent that I'm looking at this summer and saying this is what we got to do, because the truth is, again, we got to stress it. It's next year's free agency class that's really going to be. That's the one that's really going to be it. So, it's one of those things where I know it's the first summer that we finally have cap space, especially after all the salary hell that we've been through over the course of the years, especially with especially with the freaking Josh Smith contract that was on our books for years, the all the wave and stretching that we've seen throughout the test of time.
And
But
what Blake Griffin is off books next year?
Yep.
After next year.
And by the way, I feel bad for Blake Griffin, man. He is like, it's not that he's hardly playing. He's out of the rotation in Brooklyn, and he only plays in garbage time now. That is crazy to me. But that's a whole other conversation for a whole different day. But
Stan Van Gundy move.
Thanks, Stan Van. Appreciate it. But before we wrap up here in a few minutes, guys, do you have any closing thoughts or anything that you want the people out there to know about this team or about this game, or what are you going to remember from tonight? Obviously, SADDIQ's performance is going to be the thing, but what do you want to tell the people at home?
I think it's just this was SADDIQ Bey's night, man. It definitely was. He showed us tonight that not only can he be that next level player, but he can do it efficiently, he can do it effectively, and he can do it in multiple ways. He's not just seeking a score. The efficiency shows that. We've seen him take a lot of shots before, not score as many points. Tonight he was just knocking them down. But we also saw him get on the floor, diving for loose balls, looking to set up his teammates. There are some assists that they left out on the court for him. I wish that they would have knocked down a couple more shots. Those are the things that really, really, really make me excited with everything else that's going on, because it speaks to who SADDIQ Bey is going to be when everybody else gets back as well. And I'm hoping that and it's starting to seem like it is, that becomes contagious, that everybody's looking to make the right pass. People are looking to rebound. And another side note, just Marvin Bagley, man, he's brought a new rebounding prowess where we're cutting teams down to one shot, one and done. And then our guards, our people are able to kick it up the court. Tonight, those are the two stars of the games, at least for me. And I'm happy. I'm happy. Yeah. These are good problems and good decisions that we have to make as it relates to Jeremy Grant. Troy has to decide what to do with Marvin Bagley. But like King said, these are things we actually get to talk about now versus where we were in years prior. So,
it's a good problem to have, man. It's a real good problem to have. Deuce, what about you, man? What's on your mind after tonight? What do you think closing out? What do you got on your mind?
I would say for me, I know tonight was the night of the tank, obviously. And I know some fans from us here wanted us to see if we could get that L. But I think we're okay. I don't think this hurts our chances because, the bottom three teams, they all have an equal 52% chance of landing that top 4 pick. So as of right now, we're still in the bottom 3 along with Houston and Orlando. So we're still in good shape.
Yeah, absolutely we are. And King, my guy, what's on your mind closing out tonight?
I just want to tell the fan base as usual, be patient. You know what I'm saying? Be patient. Troy Weaver is building a team where he's going to have multiple guys that can give you this type of night. He's not trying to build a team where I know a lot of the younger personalities, a lot of the video gamers, they want to see just that one guy be just that guy on the team. We got Cade Cunningham, true. But there's going to be nights where it's SADDIQ Bey's night. It's going to be Jeremy Grant's night. It's going to be Bagley's night. It's going to be whoever we have on this team. And that is how Pistons teams are built.
Yep.
So, it's not about, one player giving you 30, 35 points every night. It's about the Pistons playing team basketball, playing defense, and whoever has it that night is the guy who has it that night. That's the type of team we're building.
Yep.
I like that.
Absolutely. Well, before we do wrap up, I do also want to, first of all, before we kind of, I let these guys let them all tell you where you can find them, and obviously thank you guys all for being here. This is the first official episode of the 313 Report, where we are going to be coming live each and every week, and this is all based in Detroit sports. It's all based primarily around our Pistons, but believe me, man, anything big happening in the city of Detroit, we're going to be talking about it. If we need to go live on a whim, on an emergency, we're going to go live. And there's going to be a rotating cast, a crew of people coming here. There's going to be a lot of great creators, and I just want to say this isn't about any of us up here. This is about Detroit, man. The reason why these guys are up here and the reason why we're up here is because we love Detroit and we love Detroit sports.
Yeah.
So I can promise you, man, this show each and every week is going to be here, and we're going to all, in the good, in the bad. I think it's fitting that we had a special performance to start this show with, man. And I have a firm feeling that this is going to be, and I have a firm feeling that this is going to be special, man. And I truly got to say that there could not be a Detroit-based show and not have guys like Everything King, like guys like Downtown Deuce, guys like Detroit Kool-Aid in here, man. These three guys are the real deal, are the truth, and they love these teams, man. And I just want to thank you all so much for being here. King, absolutely. King, Deuce, you guys are welcome here anytime. King, if you guys want to be here every week, if you guys want to do anything, you guys know you are more than welcome. So thank you so much for being here. King, where can people find you, man?
Well, you can find me at the gas station begging for quarters. No, you can find me on YouTube, man, and Twitter mostly at Everything King, man. I'm on Instagram here and there, but YouTube and Twitter. I live on Twitter. So Everything King on both outlets. Yeah.
And King, you got a podcast starting up too, right?
Yeah, I got a podcast, man. We have a sports podcast. It's called We Three Kings. It's with me and two of my brothers. We talk sports, Michigan football, basketball, Lions, Pistons. We talk about a lot of things. Make sure you guys stop by, man.
Yeah, hey King, anytime you need anyone, let me know, man. I'll come and raise hell there, man. Yeah. Deuce, what about you, man? Where can people find you?
So I'm kind of the invert of King. I'm on Twitter, but I'm predominantly on Instagram. So you can find me there on Downtown Deuce, and you can find me in the studio creating some Detroit Pistons music. So coming soon.
That's what's up, man.
Great follow on Instagram.
Yeah, great follow on Instagram. Be sure to follow my guy Downtown Deuce on Instagram. He is the real deal. And Kool-Aid, and Kool-Aid, I can't thank you enough, brother. I mean, you're a big reason why this show is a thing, why we're here right now.
Yeah, y'all are a big reason why this show is a thing.
Well, I appreciate it, man. But Kool-Aid,
knowledge.
Yeah, Kool-Aid.
I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, man. Kool-Aid is a wealth of knowledge, man. But Kool-Aid, where can people find you, and what do you want to tell people?
At Detroit Kool-Aid on Twitter and Instagram. Hey, we're about to start getting busy on Instagram. A lot of cool things coming up. You're gonna see a lot more of these faces and some of these projects coming up. I can't wait to say stuff.
Same here, man. I know so happy. Listen, man, y'all at home, you might think we got some hyperbole right now, but when I tell y'all, man, be on the lookout because there are some awesome content coming on the way.
Yeah, and
be on the
Sport,
lookout.
Man.
Yeah, look out on Woodward Sports, man. Kool-Aid, bring that. He said, bring that toy bear on lottery night, bro.
Hey,
Hey,
I got it.
Hey,
I got it.
I'm gonna be there,
You
man.
will
I'm
be
gonna
there.
be. Yeah, I'm gonna be there.
Me,
And I was
dude.
even talking.
Yeah, hey, I'll be there.
Hey, we all
I'll
in the
be
building.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. And Kool-Aid, it sounds like I might be a part of the actual draft coverage of Woodward this summer too. So I'm super
Hey.
pumped about that, man. So
Yeah.
and yeah, and also this channel is a great place to keep an eye out. You'll be seeing these faces on this channel very, very often, but also if you're an NBA fan, if you love basketball, this is the place to be. Have a couple podcasts a week. And on top of that, the 313 report, I love this show already. I am proud of it already. And I have a great feeling about it, man. I think we're gonna have some awesome stuff. And to all of you that are joining at home, just thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. It is Detroit versus everybody, man. So we are all a tight-knit group. We are all a family here. So this is a place where we just want to celebrate Detroit sports and celebrate the teams that we love, man. So believe
As
me.
always, shout out to Sean, man, for creating this platform.
Yes.
You've been putting in work. Y'all go check him out. Amazing content. Looking forward to seeing what you got coming up soon, bro.
I appreciate that,
Good
man.
reads too, man. Make sure you guys
Absolutely.
are reading those stories, man. Reads. Good reads.
Definitely check them out. Woodward Sports, man.
I appreciate that, man. Listen, man. I am not gonna stop putting in that work, man. It is gonna pay off, and I am a firm believer in that. But be sure to hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe. Be sure to leave a comment in the comment section down below. Be sure to share with your friends. Someone said this next year is gonna be fire. Here's the crazy thing, man. Here's the crazy thing, and I just want to close on this. We're having all this success and we're having all this buzz and we're at the bottom of the Eastern Conference. Imagine when all of our teams are at the top
You
of
can't
the top,
tell
man.
me nothing.
You can't tell me nothing,
Excuse
man.
me, was you saying something?
They gonna have to sign me to the Pistons when we get to the top.
Listen, man, we
Start
don't
a
have to
10-day.
get King on the 10-day, man. We got to get this man out there we got to get
I
him
love that.
out there.
Oh, man. Slide to the side again, man. That's legendary. Like I love
You had that ready to go, King. You are a legend for that,
bro.
bro.
You used to hang it from the rafters, man.
Right.
Listen, man.
Only number 7 that needs to be up there.
All I'm saying
Like
too,
that.
I'm thinking next year. I'm thinking we're gonna have to have a Pistons game. We all meet up and we have a big 3-1-3 like just meeting night where we all hang out and say hi to each other.
Yeah.
Believe me, man. There's just gonna be some awesome things coming up. Just the next year in Detroit sports in general is gonna be great. But listen, man, there has been a void in Pistons or Detroit content in general. But we are all here to fill that void, man. And we're all and the guys that are in here. These three are at the forefront of it, and I'm proud to be a part of that group as well, man. So seriously, I appreciate everyone being here. Thank you so much for tuning in. I know that this was the best possible night that we could have started this show, and we're just getting started, man. This is we haven't even reached the top of the mountain yet. We're just beginning to climb. So thank you all so much for tuning in, and we will catch you next time from Half Court. Be sure to subscribe, goddammit.
Corey Joseph's the GOAT.
Hey, what a sign off.
On that
That's
note,
a sign
On
off.
that note, see you, everybody.
SADDIQ must score 50.